I'm Brooke Spagnolia. I'm the Student Success Advocate here at Cayman County College. Today I'm going to go over the workshop on how to handle stress. A little self-explanatory, but not so much for an average student these days. So the first thing we're going to go over is avoid caffeine, alcohol, and sugar. Caffeine is a stimulant and it will increase the level of stress rather than reducing it. So this kind of comes hand in hand, and I've said this in a few of my other workshops, is kind of avoid that cup of coffee in the morning. If you can, only have half a cup because it's really going to take down some of that anxiety. The more sugar and caffeine that you put into your body, the more your nerves are going to continue to kind of flourish and build up, which is going to cause a lot of unnecessary thoughts and jitters and just make everyday stressful situations more stressful. So like I said, it is a stimulant. Alcohol is a depressant, but when taken in large quantities, it acts as a stimulant in smaller quantities. So it's kind of important that alcohol, regardless that you might want to have a great out night with your friends, be careful how much you're drinking because it is going to affect your stress levels. Not only does alcohol take a big portion of your night up, it also makes you restless, tired. It doesn't really feed your body what it needs to survive and to kind of, be your best self. So just be aware of how much you're indulging in a good time when you have a lot of tests and studies coming up. Next thing is sugar. It seems kind of silly, but refined sugars can cause energy crashes, which might lead to you feeling tired and irritable. I know for me, I'm constantly on the go, kind of as a school psych. I have to constantly be ready to deal with any situation, so I'll have 3 or 4 cups of coffee a day, but I notice a half an hour after my cup of coffee, I'm slunched on the desk, and it's because there's so much sugar in my coffee that I'm hitting a crash quicker. So really, as much as I think it's beneficial for me to stay constantly on speed basically with this coffee, it's not really doing me a benefit in the long run of the day. So be careful how much you're intaking. Like I said, cut it down to a half a cup, half a candy bar, whatever your choice of energy is, make sure that you're in moderation. Next thing is physical activity and stress. Physical activity and sleep. That's a big no-no, there you go. So stressful situations increase the level of stress hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol. So what this kind of means is that when you're having all that stress, these hormone levels of yours are at an all-time high. So something like running or going for a long walk is really going to allow your body to kind of release those hormones and all of those adrenaline that's built up in your body. It's going to be a little bit easier to handle a situation when you don't have so much built up. So like I said, when you feel stressed or tense, go for a brisk walk in the fresh air. Try to incorporate some physical activity into your daily routine. So that kind of means doing it not just once in the week course span, but trying incorporating 10, 15, 20 minutes throughout the week, every day. Fitting it in where you can. We all have busy lives. So even if it's running around the block real quick or walking around the block real quick, hey, it might make a difference. And then it also is, regular physical activity will also improve your quality of sleep, which this was a new thing for me because I didn't know that. And I'm someone who struggles with falling asleep at night. So kind of knowing that if I go to the gym either in the morning or during the day, or even for a walk, I do sleep a little better. And I have explored with that, and it really does make a difference. I guess because a lot of the times with anxiety and with all of those feelings that we have, a lot of it is just unused energy. So it really does benefit to kind of get some of it out. A lack of sleep is a significant cause of stress. Make sure you're relaxed before bed. Now this is a big thing, and it's so common in today's world because we are so connected to social media and all of our devices. Put it down before you go to bed. When you lay in bed and you play on your phone or your laptop, it is so hard to shut your brain down. And even if you put it down and you start to feel tired, your brain is still going now for the next 30 to 40 minutes before your brain actually shuts down and goes to bed. So it really is not beneficial for you because it's just continuing your brain activity. When you sleep, that's when your brain does the most processing. Everything that you learned in that day gets reprocessed with repetition and rest, and all those new things build. If you're not giving your body the time it needs to do that, it's gonna, decrease your memory skills, decrease your learning ability. All these things are really important, just kind of creating a healthy body for you to live in. Next is relaxation techniques, and I do have a link here, so I am going to run out of the room and then come back so I can play just a couple of minutes for you. So see what works best for you. There is a million things out there today. Yoga, meditation, mindfulness, there's even therapy. People do all different things just to keep themselves, at peace. with their center. So don't worry if you find it difficult to relax at first. Relaxation is a learned skill and will improve with practice. Not many people know that that's a learned skill. A lot of things are learned. So when you hear that, it really does make it doable. If it's something that you can kind of practice and do once and again, and then it becomes something that you're used to and better at, it's going to make it a little easier for you. And like I said, before I go play this link, I'm going to skip down. So talking to somebody doesn't necessarily have to be professional help. Sometimes just hanging out with a friend, grabbing a drink, grabbing a bite to eat, and having that time throughout the day, throughout the week, where you take 30 minutes just to kind of chat, relax, take a minute from all of your stressful things, and just really have a nice time. That can be really beneficial too, because you don't even have to talk about what's bothering you, but even just having that time where you don't talk about it can be really helpful too. So I'm going to show you just a short clip on meditation. Now this meditation is more about mindfulness, but really what it's kind of going to go through is, and they're all over YouTube, it's doctors and they have these short little clips where they just kind of teach you how to relax yourself for those who find it difficult to do themselves. So I'm going to play that for you real quick.
Welcome to your meditation. I'm Dr. Robert Eric Dinnenberg, and I'll guide you through from start to finish. Mindfulness is present moment attention without judgment. For this meditation, we'll attend to our feet with mindfulness, and then we'll move on to the breath in the abdomen, and then to finish, we'll return to the feet. So let's get started. With mindfulness, start to observe your feet. Answer this question to yourself. What does it feel like to have my feet on the ground in this present moment?
So that was only a couple seconds of that video, but really what the whole point of it was is to be aware of your body. Be aware of the emotions, the tension, where the tightness is in your hands, your feet, anywhere in your body. Be aware of that. Kind of center yourself. It's kind of giving you the time to really reflect on who you are as a person and all of those things that take time apart from all the stressful things in your life and really just focus on the simplicity. So that's something that you can try. If that works for you, then great. If not, you'll find something that does. It's going to be kind of trial and error. Like I said, relaxation is a learned skill. Control. This is something that I should put in my anxiety workshops because control is the best way to handle anxiety, but it's also not exactly the best things in certain situations. But with stress, control is great. Because if you can find a solution to your problems, it'll help you feel more control, and thereby from that you'll be lowering your stress levels. So what this kind of has to do with is, if you have a big test coming up and that's where your source of stress is, if you take control of that big test, take control of studying, take control of the time it takes to put in for studying or put in for paying attention in class. Be at class, be present at class, talk to your teachers, use the resources here at Camden County. All of those things is taking control of that stressful situation. And that really is going to make a difference because you're not going to feel so helpless and you're not going to feel that stress taking over your life because you are doing everything you can to make it a preventative. So I just have 3 things here listed because these are things that I do constantly. And I am someone that exercises control because it really does help me, especially with all the busy things that I do in my life. Make a list, complete a goal, and practice problem solving. Always make a list every day and keep that list short. You don't want to put so many things on there that you can't achieve. Like, here's a really great example about how that doesn't work. I have everything that I have to do for the next 3 weeks of school written down. And I don't know if you can see this here, but I've crossed one thing out. And that's because the list is for the next month. And I'm not going to feel really accomplished when I'm crossing one thing out every couple weeks. But if you keep it really short and maybe do, these are the 2 things I have to complete for this week, that's things I can cross off, which is really empowering in a sense because you really feel like you're accomplishing those things. And that's what I mean by completing a goal. And then practice problem solving. And that's kind of like the example that I gave you with the quiz or the test. Really take your problem and find ways to find a solution. Don't let the stress control you, control the situation. Manage time. One of the most self-explanatory things, but the hardest thing, I really think. We have so many things going on in our lives, not to mention that outside pressures, and even though they're not concrete things, the idea of not doing well, the idea of graduating, the idea of everybody else being a competitor or somebody that you're up against or have to maintain relationships with, that can be the hardest thing to manage because they're not concrete things and they're not things that we can do and be done with. They're things that we need to work on every day. So look out for that procrastination and those distractions and be aware of your laziness. We're all lazy with something, so it's okay to feel that way and it's okay to be that kind of person sometimes. It's more important to be self-aware. Know your strengths and weaknesses. Know where you need to give things more time or less time. So another great thing with that is to kind of create a schedule. Nowadays with our smartphones, we can download an app that keeps track of everything. Sets reminders, tells us where we need to be 2 hours ahead of time, 2 days ahead of time. I mean, anything like that. Like this week I had an alarm set for Monday just to let me know I had to be here because I seriously would forget. I mean, we have so many other things going on in this world. No matter how much of a priority something is, sometimes it slips our mind. So it's important to kind of keep a schedule. And last but not least, with this cute little kitty cat picture, is rest. If you're feeling ill or unwell, make sure you give yourself a break. If you're sick, lay down. It's not going to benefit you to keep going and to keep pushing yourself. It's really, at the end of the day, you're going to be more sick and you're not going to get anything done well. And this is something that I strive to kind of teach others, and because someone taught it to me. If you can't do a project to the best of your abilities, do not hand in something that's half worked on or half done or not your best. Because you're going to show people in your whole life with careers, school, that that's your best. Because that's what they're going to look at. That's what they're going to see from that. Whatever you turn in is they're hoping and assuming that you're giving them all you have. But if you're not, you're only doing yourself a disservice. So you want to make sure that you're resting because that gives your body time to recover. Your body needs it. And like I said before, that's when your brain digests the most information. And you really want this up here to be your most powerful tool. And just a few tips before I leave you. Set clear boundaries for your days. So that's just kind of like what I said with setting a goal. 3 or 4, even 5 if you want to be ballsy there. Have a good balance between work and rest. Know that you have to give time to each of those things. Disconnect over the weekend. Don't spend your whole weekend checking your emails for work. Now, if you're in school, you might want to check your emails a couple times. But make sure you're still giving yourself some time to rest over the weekend. Staying offline. Unlike this is what I was saying. But that also kind of contributes to putting the phone down before you go to bed. Or if you're taking a nap, put your phone across the room. You don't need to be on it 24/7. As much as we feel we need to be in contact, just give yourself that because it really is going to be more important for you. And make sure you take time to do the things that you love. If you're someone who loves soccer, don't put soccer out of your life because you have other things to do. Still make time to play soccer. Still make time to go shopping if shopping's your favorite thing. Whatever you love to do, make time for it because that's going to make you better in every area of your life. And that's all I have for you. So thank you. Stay relaxed.